What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Mike LaBelle. Welcome back to the playbook today. And I'm calling it a special or a hidden skill move. I'm not sure on the title. We're doing the reverse engineering of a Mr. Beast, but I'm going to showcase something that hits a little bit different and talks to me in a special way. If you're new, it is free to subscribe. Happy to have you here. And when you're talking about skills, and I've broken down the body feint in a previous video, you have to start in the arena. If you have questions, you want to open up the room for discussion, we have a comment section. Get yourself in the arena, body feint. Anyone can do it. You do not need Messi. You do not need someone that has a bunch of skills. It is a universal skill move, but the way that you do it, you see the little diagonals here. If you cannot do this, if you can't do a reverse body feint, if you can't take off into space, if you can't go forward with your body feint, even slightly, it's going to cause problems. You will not be able to maximize what we're going to showcase in this video. I'm getting into an advanced scenario. Understood? So if that diagonal to diagonal is hard for you to do, practice the diagonal to the diagonal. If you can't go side to side, see this right here? If you can't do that, it's fine. This is just where you need to be right now. You need to practice. If you can't run the end line and do a reverse body feint, you see that? A little bit different. We're going to move into the clips, but I just want to start off. Anyone can do this skill. It's not complicated or complex, but it gets a lot more detailed once we get into some of the extra intricacies. We're going to begin with the forward feint. Relatively straightforward. You make that pass. You're in this position. You got the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo. You need a boost of something. You've got to challenge that center back. This guy right here, we've got to beat him. We do have a bit of an isolated matchup, but there's a lot of space between where we need to go, and I'm trying to get into this area. I got to cruise past the opposition. Body feint, love it. It's similar to a step over when you do a forward feint, so you're not choosing an exit direction, or you're not choosing as far of an exit point. So with the left analog stick, you're not going completely left or completely right, and you're not going diagonal to diagonal, because it's all about the degrees that you move when you're executing a body feint. Are you with me? I hope that you're with me. Ronaldo, boom, player, roasted, toasted, out of position, cannot deal with what we've got for him, and then Ronaldo taps it home. Let's put this into slow-mo. It's a good feed, overlapping run, Cristiano, right there. I have to freeze him, and I do. You have to freeze him. And again, it's as simple as doing a body feint just slightly forward. It's going to attack that space. I need to make sure that anytime that I have risk to reward, that it's worth me taking that risk. Otherwise, you go with something different. I know if I attack forward here or I attack forward there, at least I'm going to get a shot on goal if I beat that defender, if I beat that midfielder, if I beat that player that's in front of me. And that's the type of measurables that I'm looking for. Moving on, side to side, another classic, maybe the most classic. We've got him in this position. I'm going to use my opposition's momentum against him. Defenders chasing this way. He's also got other players that are naturally going to be in this position. That's not where my attackers are. That does not help me. I want to feed the greats that are following up. They're getting into position. I got 3 potential options, but none of them are in the zone. They're not here. That means I've got to pull the ball back, or I've got to beat a defender. I've got to open up a different passing lane. That means I got to take on the opposition. So anytime that I see a player and he's side to side with me, you can body feint towards that direction. A little bit of that perpendicular action if you paid attention during geometry. This is the matchup, and that's going up against Virgil van Dijk. And we're going to cruise. Ready? Bam. He's gone. I switched direction quickly. Now, what's happened? I got past 1 if I'd like. I got past 2 if I'd like. I probably won't force that, but in theory, I could make that 3rd pass. Either way, the options have opened up. You got option 1, option 2, option 3. You can do a lot here. 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to go with the best available, the most prominent, and we're going to lay that off to Ronaldo, and then Ronaldo's going to touch it home. Bam. Goalkeeper can't do anything with it. This is the kind of stuff that we support. And if you know my storyline whatsoever, I am biased. I'm a fan of the body feint. I think it is the most underused and underutilized skill this year in particular. It is creme de la creme, best of the best. Diagonal goodness. So this is the same as before, but instead of side to side, we're almost going within a square or a box or a rectangle. However, now we're going to go diagonal into diagonal, understanding the angles. Get the ball inside. We feed the main man, Ronaldo. I don't love what I've opened up just yet. I'm in a dangerous position, but I don't feel like that's the shot. Therefore, that means I need to still beat the opponent. I've got to do something here. So I'm either taking on this man or I'm challenging him. Either way, I'm trying to create a lane of space. And again, we're going to use the momentum, the defender's momentum against him. He's facing this way and he's recovering. So naturally, defender is moving that way. We want to take advantage of the momentum that's going to be going against him. So we're going to go the reverse way. Now watch this circumvent. Now you're going to have a highlight for you, your mother, your brother, your sister, your cousin. Gone. Out of the play. And then what's better than a little bit of that extra composure? The goalkeeper's kind of in no man land. What's the goalkeeper going to do from this position? He is shimmy and shook. We're going to give him a little ball roll, which I also made a video discussing how to beat the goalkeeper, best ways to finish. Gone. 100% conversion rate. Now we're talking the best of the best. And you have to analyze and line this up. I've always called this the shoulder check. You've got someone on the cufflinks. Not sure that I nailed down that saying. Berber spin, which I also can appreciate this year. Extra pass right here. I love this setup. And I do this down the wings. I do it in the middle of the pitch. Again, measuring risk to reward. I got to have an opportunity to score a goal to do this because it is going to be a bit of a 50-50 in some of these scenarios. So you got space to work with. I've got a tough defender to break down. This is Virgil van Dijk. I've already shifted my body towards the end line, right? So I've turned. I'm towards the end line, which means that I can flip that the same way that I talked about understanding the squares, and you get a little burst of pace, and people don't talk about it. So here's your matchup. Virgil van Dijk. I'm going to be facing this way, so my opponent's not going to expect me to go that way. And you can do it all in one motion. In order to do this, you're on that right analog stick for the feint, and then left analog stick for exit direction. Facing towards the end line, and then I'm going to shift back directly to goal. And watch this spurt of pace that you just get. And you put somebody right on your shoulder. Even someone as overpowered as Virgil van Dijk. Gone. Where'd he go? Can we watch that back? Where did he go? And people do not expect this skill because it's not mastered to this degree by many folks. Look at this. Gone. Made him player switch out of there. Didn't want anything to do with the body feint. Simple. I'm on my dominant left foot in this case with Kubo. And he's cooking. FIFA or FC 24 cookbook special. The last piece. The final sequence, if you will. The last dance. We're talking about the reverse feint. I went over this at the beginning. I can talk about it more. It's a bit of a diagonal body feint. You're going to pull it back. If you played FIFA 17 or even FIFA 18, you should be used to utilizing. You understand the value of this skill in particular. We're in the middle of the pitch. There it is. You see the diagonal. I didn't want to be too wild with the skill moves because there's so many bodies around me. When I don't have any space, I need a little bit of a tighter skill. You can see all these players around me. That is the idea around the reverse body feint. It's tighter. It's more controlled. It's less attacking in terms of pushing the defender the wrong way. It allows me to reinvent or resurface, recycle, but not necessarily going to attack you head on. And that's for good reason. Again, you count the bodies. What are we doing here? I'm surrounded by 9 players. This is off a corner kick. 9 players. We can count together. So I use a reverse feint. And what I'm doing here is I'm looking at options. I'm assessing options. So in this position, so I'm thinking to myself, what's actually available? You've got the likes of potentially going out wide to Cancelo. I could take this back to Varane, who's going to have to recycle quickly. I think that's Kanate, so I don't really have good attackers that way. If I get a good enough turn, maybe I can switch the pitch. But my eyes are always glancing towards the target man. I know if this becomes available, I always want to take a gamble on the most dangerous pass, the best opportunity available. I'm playing percentages. So if this opens up, that's my first choice. Always and forever. The most dangerous player, first choice option, and first priority. If it's not open, then you go to your second option, your third option. And to make that easier, I'll number them. First option, I would say for me, just from a safety perspective, maybe second or third. And then if I want to just directly recycle, this is available for a recycle. I'm not even trying to switch the pitch on the other side. So that's where my head's at. Let's see what happens here. So we've got that turn. We're moving. You see the pass open up. Now, it's a little bit of a dangerous one, but I have space. You see this? I have space. The goalkeeper has a gap that I can work with. Yeah, either way. And I'm going to put Ronaldo in that position to be himself. He flies well. The man's aerial. He's got that presence. Look at the delivery here. Oh, it is pinpoint. I mean, picture perfect. It's got to be said. And the other conversion. Let's give it to you in full speed, because why not? A lot of bodies, tight turn, a little bit of a chip through ball or a cross. You knock it down and you convert. And if you were asking or you're wondering, that is a chip through ball. In order to score from that circumstance, it can also work if you use a crossing command wherever you're most comfortable. Those are the clips. If you have questions, and a lot of the tutorials that will be coming out in the future on this channel in regards to skill moves won't necessarily be how to do the skill, but actually when to do the skill. How to execute, how to master, how to reinvent, how to create something special with that skill move, as opposed to just saying, this is how you learn it. You need to know the skill, but you have to understand how to actually set up the skill if you want to be at a higher level. If you want to really reintroduce yourself, you want to make a statement on the virtual pitch. I appreciate you. We have a lot more content coming out on the playbook, and I have a big announcement coming up next week. So expect a lot more on the horizon. I'm talking ASAP.